Hey there everybody, how's it going? So in today's video I wanted to talk about something that's kind of been on my mind for the past few years now, and that's the topic of male loneliness, right? As all of us males out there, sometimes who are, single, we sit there underneath the bed sheets and we christen our crosses to the thought of having someone because we're lonely, because we need someone to put us in our rigmarole and just not give us any sort of choice in life. And one of the things that's interesting about this topic is that I feel as though we talk about male loneliness a lot, but we don't really talk about female loneliness or women's loneliness. And this had kind of been brought up to my attention a few years ago whenever I was at a singles meetup event. I was at this event and it was for the loneliest of the lows, the singles such as myself. Spoiler alert, nothing has changed in that regard. But what had happened was, I'm walking around and doing my thing. I'm being my little politician self, talking to people. And there was this one chick there who I'd seen quite a few times, and we were friends, but, nothing serious and nothing actually spicy happened that night. But we were just kind of getting tired of the whole party, so we both decided to step out of the back, just off the porch, just stare into the sun. Well, the moon, it was night. Anyways, we were gazing off into the night and we were talking, just about differences between men and women, and in particular dating and what each sex likes. And she actually brought up a really good point. She said, one of the things that I'm really sick and tired of hearing about is male loneliness and this male loneliness epidemic that we tend to see a lot online. And I said, that's valid. I can see that getting annoying. She said, the reason why it's so annoying is not because of the issue, but because it feels very one-sided, right? We don't really see a lot from women and their perspective on it. And I immediately thought, this is so accurate, right? I don't really see articles that go around and say that women are so lonely and women, christen their crosses and it's just not the same. No, you don't. And so we started talking about it, and I was trying to come up with reasons as to why, and I didn't have a lot of great reasons at the time, but looking back, I think I kind of know. So one of the reasons why male loneliness is talked about, or at least disproportionately talked about compared to female loneliness, is because guys do really stupid stuff when they get mad. And that sucks because that's just the way that we are, and we need to be, I think that things need to change, but here's the deal, right? You don't really hear about women that go crazy over a guy and then they stalk him to his house and then they go into the window. And then as they're going into the window, they steal a bag of goldfish and they eat the goldfish as they get into his house, and then they tie him up. No, you don't hear about that, but you hear about guys doing that sort of crazy stuff a lot. Right? You hear about guys stalking women. You hear about them chasing them down. You hear about them popping out of a present in the backseat of their car and then lighting up a firecracker as they're trying to, escape. That's stuff that guys do. And so this is just kind of a quick thought of the reason why we hear a lot more about male loneliness is because guys tend to kind of lash out a lot more about it. I don't think that that's fair, and I think that we should change a lot in regards to how we talk about this topic, because women do get lonely, and sometimes women do stupid things, sometimes very occasionally. But also, I feel as though women don't really lash out, or they don't really do the crazy stuff that guys do. And it just has kind of stuck with me ever since then, because I'd sort of feel bad, right? Because now guys get all this attention for, them throwing a temper tantrum, and women just don't. So this brings me to my next point, which is, at what point is it okay to kind of lash out or to act out, as opposed to, I don't want to say suffer silently, but be a lot more quiet or be a lot more reserved or even be a lot more tactful about a specific issue. And this is something that I don't necessarily have an answer to, but it's just sort of stuck out to me, right? Because again, guys are doing these stupid things, but they're also getting a lot more attention for it. So I don't know, should women start acting out a little bit more? Should they start vocalizing their loneliness and their problems more? Or do guys need to be the ones to pipe it down quite a bit? I would be interested to see your thoughts on this. Thank you, and have a nice day.